Hi, welcome to Baby Narc. 2 weeks ago, Brian texted me and said, "Hey, I'm at your apartment right now. Are you home? I wanted to see if you're doing okay and, just wanted to stop by and say hi. I've been sober for 2 weeks." And you know what my first thought was? Fuck you. You narcissistic piece of dog shit. You know that I have had a Monday through Friday, 8 to 5 job since even before we started this relationship 4 years ago. And you're at my apartment right now at 10 o'clock in the morning, whatever, wondering if I'm home. Really? Now, he could be lying because he is nothing but a liar. I mean, he is a lie, his life is a lie, everything comes out of his mouth is a lie. So, I mean, he might not have even been here. But really, 10 o'clock on a Monday morning, it ain't no holiday, and you're at my apartment wondering if I'm home and you want to stop by and say hi? Fuck you, dude. I know that's a terrible way to look at it, but I mean, seriously. Now, after that happened, so I said to him, I texted, I said, "Yeah, I'm good, glad you are too." That's all I texted. And, fuck him, The way we parted things a couple weeks ago before he stopped by was that he was really pissed off that I have another guy that's interested in me. So I'm sure that's what he meant by, "Are you okay?" So, a part of me thinks that he wasn't even here and he was lying, but another part of me thinks that he was stopping by in the morning, to see if maybe I'm with somebody, which I am not like that, but whatever. Then, a couple of days after that, in the morning again, like I was in the shower and I could have sworn that somebody was banging on my front door. I didn't get out of the shower and go answer it, so I don't know. It probably was him. I don't know. Okay. Then, last Sunday, now I told you he never contacts me on Sundays. It's the weirdest fucking thing. Is your narc like that? Do they have these weird patterns that they just repeat and can't get out of, and it's just a never-ending cycle? I'm assuming so. You'll have to leave a comment. But on Sunday, today's Wednesday, on Sunday, he came over at, it was maybe about noon, and he's banging on my door, and I answered it, and you know what? Here's what's weird. Whenever I haven't seen him in a little bit of a time, now not just a day or two, but if a week or more passes by, and of course, he ghosts me so much that there has been times where months have gone by. But when he disappears on me, and then I see him again in person, he doesn't look like how I remembered him. I think that's part of the mask. And the more it's happening, the more I'm really finally getting into this thick head of mine that he's just not the man that I'm in love with. I'm in love with some other version of him that doesn't exist. So I answered the door, and I guess I didn't come to it quick enough, because he's a narcissist and everything has to be immediate. So, I was trying to, I was actually cleaning the bathtub, so I'm like soaked in, cleaning fluids or whatever. So, like, wash my hands and go get the door. And I didn't know it was him. He didn't yell anything, so it was just a knock. And so I'm trying to wash my hands real quick and then go answer the door. So I guess I didn't get there quick enough. So I opened the door and he had started to walk away. And I was like, hey, like, I didn't recognize the back of him. It was weird. And then he turns around. And I was like, who's that old man? I know that sounds mean, and I'm not trying to be mean. I mean, if I was in love with a good man, I mean, he could be 1,000 years old and look like a freaking tree stump, and it wouldn't matter to me. But it was weird. It was weird. I always tell you about your feelings. Your feelings are your guide to let you know when something is wrong. And it was just weird. So he turns around and, like, for a second, and a second in that kind of a situation seems like forever, and I didn't know who he was, and I was like, oh, like that. I was like, oh, hey, Brian. And so he kind of came back, like walked backward a few steps because he was about to leave, and he comes in my apartment and he's acting weird. And he's telling me all about how he's sober and, blah, 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 new small talk, whatever. And, I high-fived him and said, oh, that's great that you're sober. He says, yeah, I've been sober for like, going on a month now, which, isn't really true, but whatever, it's fine. It's okay. It was a few weeks. And, in drug addiction, I mean, if you're sober for 30 minutes, that's a huge accomplishment, So I'm not trying to downplay his accomplishment with being sober. Like, I'm not trying to say that at all. I get it. I'm not a drug addict and I don't fully get it. I will never understand it completely. But I mean, come on, I get it. It's a big deal. That's great. Wonderful. So I high-fived him. We kind of laughed. And he says, well, and then he apologizes. He's like, well, it's only been a couple of weeks. And, I still am on, my Suboxone and taking Xanax and stuff. So, I'm not really sober, but, I'm trying. And, that's fine. Hey, whatever it takes. Okay. And once again, I'm not downplaying that at all. Whatever. I'm not trying to say, oh, well, you're not totally sober, I'm not, whatever. So I was cool about it. And then he says, now this is what pisses me off. Then he says, well, I just want to stop by and see how you are and let you know that I'm not mad. Now, I know what he means. He means he's not mad about me telling him about this guy that's interested in me. And I still am not gone out with this guy, but of course, in his crazy brain, he's concocted this whole story. And, I would too, I mean, if he told me that, I do think that he messes around with other women. So of course he's thinking I'm messing around with this guy, but I'm not. But nevertheless, I know what he meant by I'm not mad is, whatever. But then he says, oh, I don't even know what I was mad about anyway. And I'm just like, not that I, haven't seen you in a couple weeks, you're sober, we're having a good conversation, I'm in the middle of cleaning my bathtub, I'm not really in the mood to have some sort of, freaking knockdown, drag out fight anyway. But it just is the fact that he just cannot have an adult conversation. I mean, once again, coming over to my house unexpectedly to try to talk about some serious shit between us. isn't ideal anyway. It's kind of rude, but I would have much preferred that, and actually sitting down and talking about things between us, like adults. And, even if the argument did get a little bit heated, at least we could discuss things and work things out. But, he's a toddler. How are you, you know, take a 2-year-old and sit down and try to explain to them some sort of adult situation, and I mean, it ain't gonna work. And it just, you know, in his failed attempt, I guess, at trying to rectify things with me, it was like, I just felt like it's just some more bullshit. It's just more waste of my time. I could be cleaning my bathtub. It's terrible to think that way, but really. And then he won't sit down, and he's acting all erratic and stuff. So that's when I knew that he wasn't really sober. Now, once again, I know his version of sober is still being on medication, and I know the medication makes him act a certain way. It's not like dealing with him when he's completely sober. Although, to his defense, there have been a handful of times in this 4-year relationship that he has been full on sober. Now, maybe he had a beer, maybe he had a joint, but for the most part, nothing else, because Suboxone is a hardcore drug. I mean, basically it's medical meth, and he's taking Xanax, and that's medical pain pills, whatever, so, he's still on hardcore shit. So, he's acting all erratic. He will not sit down. I told him like 2 or 3 times, hey, see, let's sit down, we'll talk, whatever. He's like, no, I gotta go. I gotta be at work at 5. It's like noon. Okay, whatever. So then he gets a cigarette and he's about to light it up, and he kind of looks at me weird, and because I really don't smoke in my apartment that much, I try not to, and which was cool. And he says, oh, I'm gonna step outside and have a cigarette. And I said, no, it's cool, you can have a cigarette in here, let's talk. No, I want to go outside. So his should have filmed it, his erratic behavior, and won't sit down, and he's like making hand gestures and all this, like, mania. And, he's just a hot mess again. I mean, he's a sober hot mess now. And so he goes outside, and he's always, the thing I've noticed about him is he is always running away from me. Physically, emotionally, ghosting me. I mean, he literally is always trying to escape my presence. It's the weirdest thing. And all of these crazy things that he has done throughout these 4 years, I could never quite put my finger on it, but that is what it is. He's always trying to get away from me. And another weird thing is, I have a really cute apartment. It's a little bit girly, but not over the top. And everyone else loves being here. Everybody, people I work with, my friends, I mean, people enjoy being here. I enjoy being here. It's a nice, relaxing, clean, super clean, very organized. I don't have a lot of things. I don't have a lot of knickknacks. I don't have a lot of furniture. I have a little bit of artwork that I do. It's just a very peaceful, sparse, large space, and he doesn't like being here. And he's the only one. And it's weird. And, maybe spiritual, that demon that hangs around on his shoulder probably don't like being here, but which is probably a good thing. Don't drop your demon off here. I'm not a demon daycare. I don't want a red demon trying to fuck me in the middle of the night, and a gray one standing in the corner watching me. And if I haven't said that yet in one of my videos, I will. Because, yeah, he's got 2 demons that fuck with him. Yeah, so we'll get into that some other time. I'm trying to make this video a little bit lighthearted. But yeah, don't be dropping your demons off here. But there is this weird thing. He does not like being here. It's so weird. You know, I could understand now. Here's the other thing. At his parents' house, his mom is a hoarder. That's not like I said whore. No, a hoarder. The place is a disaster. The place is dirty. Now, that's Brian's fault too, because he could clean, but he won't. And, you know, I don't really like being there. And it's a dirty, chaotic house, which is unfortunate because it's actually not a bad house. And, you know, so, I mean, maybe he's comfortable with that, and maybe being at my clean and sparse and spacious and peaceful, relaxing house. Oh, and her TV is always blasting. And his father has a TV in the bedroom, and he's like partially deaf, and he's got it blasting. And then, of course, Brian's music. So it's a very loud, dirty, chaotic, junk-filled home. And I wouldn't say it's like dirty, like, I mean, there's not like, you know, rats or bugs or, you know, gross food or anything, but I mean, you know, come on. And piles of stuff and laundry. I mean, it's just, it's very chaotic. So I don't know, maybe psychologically he is more accustomed to that, although he complains about it all the time. And, you know, long ago when he was love bombing me and about how we're going to get married and live the rest of our lives together, he was like, you got to make sure that you're, you know, clean. You're not going to, you know, he didn't say hoarder. He doesn't really know that term, but he's like, you know, you can't be having junk everywhere and piles of shit and everything. I was like, dude, that's not me. Okay. So he does notice that it's not good. But it's the weirdest fucking thing that he does not like being in my apartment. And, you know, maybe that is because the more time he spends here, the more that's going to make it seem like we're a couple. And, you know, he's trying not to do that because he fucking hates me. Or his demons don't like being here. Or I don't know what it is, but it's a weird thing. And I notice it. So he runs out the front door, and then he's standing out. He's not even standing close to the front door. He's like standing out kind of like on the little, you know, lawn area, whatever, like, you know, yards away from me. And so I went back in the house and put my sunglasses on and came out, and we had a cigarette together. And he's like so far apart from me. It's like... You know, it's just so weird. I mean, he just doesn't like me. It's so weird. And you know what? And I'm not bragging. I don't want to sound like a narcissist, but people like me. I will meet someone at the grocery store, and 5 minutes later they're already hugging me, and this is men and women and children and dogs. Like, they will already be in my personal space hugging me. You know, it's just who I am. I'm a very open, loving, giving, energetically spewing kind of person. And Brian is the first person in my life, except for, and one day I'm going to make another video about this, except for the handful of narcissists, bosses, and my parents, and some other people that acted the same way that Brian does, where they can't get far enough away from me. But yet, they still want to be around me. It's so weird. But I guess that's the whole narcissism thing. You know, if narcissists completely got away from the people that they seem to hate so much, then none of us would have a problem. You know, they would fuck us over for a little while. They would disappear, and that would be the end of it. But they just keep coming around. It's so weird. But anyway, okay, I digress. Okay, so we're standing outside, and so I'm at the front door, and there's a little grassy area, and then there's a sidewalk between us. And all of a sudden, this guy and his little daughter, I mean, she looked like maybe she was like 4, if that, are walking down the sidewalk. And me and Brian are, we're chit-chatting a little bit, not much. He's mostly just, he's like saying, hey, if you're, because he's got Asperger's. So he's talking about music, which is great because I'm a musician, but he does it in a weird way. So he's like, hey, have you heard that song by blah, 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 blah? And it's like an old song. It's just weird, but whatever. So whatever, that's another thing on his list of 8,000 things that drive me crazy about him. So we're talking about that. And then all of a sudden, this guy and this little girl start to come towards us, and he completely stops our little conversation, and they're like kind of far, I wouldn't say far away, but a few yards away, like they're not in our space yet. And he like totally stops talking to me, and he's like, oh, look at this little princess coming, and he gets all like weird, gooey nice about this little girl. He's like, hey, how y'all doing today? It's a beautiful day outside. God bless you, and he's all like being all like fake. And, and listen, I'm a friendly person. I know how to be loving for real to people. And I know how to exchange pleasantries with a stranger in a way that is authentic, where I really am like, hey, how's it going? I want to give you a little bit of my loving energy, even though you're a stranger, I want to say hello to you or compliment you on something or something, kind of have that little exchange in a normal, authentic, realistic kind of way. And Brian just doesn't know how to do that. It was weird. And the guy and even the little girl were kind of like, hey, what's up? Like, it was weird. And then I had to kind of like intervene in that little situation. Or I say I had to. No, I didn't have to. I didn't have to do shit. But nevertheless, I hate when people feel weird. And of course, I don't want to embarrass Brian, whatever. So I say to the little girl, oh, she had a little Hello Kitty shirt on. I love Hello Kitty. And so I said, oh, I like your Hello Kitty shirt, But I said it in like an authentic, normal way where Brian's like, hey, how you guys doing? And like weird. And it was fake. Like I felt it and they felt it, And it's just, it just frustrates me. I don't want to be around a fake person. It's evil. I mean, if you're saying hello, but you don't even really mean it, then fucking don't talk to me. It's just weird. But anyway, okay. Sorry. So the little girl, she kind of like, did her shirt like this. And so they walked away. And then I said to Brian, I said, oh yeah, I said, oh, she was cute, because she was. And I said, oh, she's cute. I said, oh, I love Hello Kitty. Did you know that about me? And he goes, no, I didn't know that about you. Because he didn't know anything about me. Nothing. He doesn't even know that I work every day of my life, Monday through Friday, sometimes Saturday, from 8 to 5. Forever. Forever. And you're stopping by my house at 10 o'clock on Monday morning, wondering where I am. It's like, really? So, yeah. Okay. So, back to being fake. Okay. A couple nights ago, he sent me a video on his YouTube page, but it's on YouTube, but he can text me the video. And it's a video of him singing a new song about how he's sober, whatever. God bless him, but I'm just saying it's just part of the fake shit. Okay, so I watch it, and of course, I have to watch somebody. That's the only one that he sent to me. Well, he's got another video on there, and he doesn't say the name, but I'm trying to discern, what it is. And it wasn't to Shelly, but I could tell it was to Samantha again. And he says, hey fans or whatever, here's a new song that I wrote tonight, and it's I love you, but you don't love me. I feel like a stalker. I love writing you songs, and you don't even have to ask me for it. That wasn't to me. If that would have been to me, he would have said my name. If that would have been to me, he would have sent it to me. It's not. And so, once again, he's taking that very expensive guitar that I bought for him to get his career going, and he's writing more love songs to Shelly and Samantha. He just won't stop. He won't stop. But I looked on it again today because I'm still fucking obsessed. I will say this, though. I am getting a little bit better about not checking up on him. And he erased that song, but he still has his sober song on there. Okay. Now, I told you that when he is sober, he disappears from social media other than his YouTube channel. But he disappears. So I noticed that he's back on social media, but he has deleted me. And now, because I can see it, and I know, I need to stop. This is my addiction. He's addicted to every drug in the world, and I'm addicted to his crazy antics. I need to stop. But I noticed that he is hitting up all of these people from his past. And now all of a sudden, there's some people that I've never even heard of. And they are all connected in some sort of way, like someone's husband or wife or girlfriend or a bandmate or something. Because, one thing you do have to remember is Brian, in his heyday, he was a locally famous musician. So he does know a shit ton of people. Of course, he's alienated everyone. And, but then of course we're all older now. So probably what happens is people that he hasn't talked to in years because he fucked him over in some sort of way or just was a dickhead. Now they're older. They're like, okay, fine. Let's, be buddies on social media, whatever. And I noticed that he still got me blocked. And here's what I came to the conclusion of today. The more I keep studying about narcissism and I keep trying to diagnose him, I think he's a cerebral narcissist. I don't really think that he's out fucking a bunch of women. Now, not that he wouldn't if he had the opportunity to. Come on. But I think that he gets his supply just from real simple, minute interactions and, people just paying attention to him. And I think that he hasn't, friended me or whatever, or, hit me up on social media is because, we've really gone at it the past couple of months. And I think he probably is done with me in some sort of way. And two, he knows that he can, just simply apologize or show up at my apartment or whatever, and I'm cool with it. He doesn't have to work at it at all. And all these other people, I think that what he wants, I think that he gets off on someone just friending him or following him or watching his videos. And the other weird thing he does that really kind of bugs me. Now, I have not had a boyfriend in the real recent past, obviously 4 years, but maybe like 2 years before. So about 6 years, I have not had a man in my life. And, I know, social media has totally changed in that amount of time, but he doing his videos, and I'm not just talking about music videos, that's something different, that's fine, but videos of him talking and all of his selfies. He takes selfies all the time. So now he's back on social media. He's got like 4 new selfies on all of his stuff. And I'm like, now I do that, of course, because I'm a chick, but really? You're a 47-year-old man and you're taking selfies, and it bugs me. It grosses me out, And, he is a 47-year-old man with a magnificent chick who's totally all about him, and every picture he should be posting on social media should be of us, spending time together and having fun, I should be his woman. What the fuck is wrong with him? Duh, he's a narcissist, but, it's like, man, he is really fucking missing out. Dude, man, he's just missing out on, and every woman that he has had in his life has treated him so bad, which of course, yes, I know psychologically, of course he's going to push me away because he, whatever. But man, it's a real shame. He's almost 50 years old and he could be having the most freaking awesome, loving, normal, peaceful, really just a really good relationship with a really good woman. And, he just, it's so annoying. But yeah. So yeah. So there you go. Now, when he sent me that video of him playing his new song about being sober, and then when I watched the other video, it was kind of a love song. Now, he's a musician. Maybe it really wasn't to anybody, but, I could tell. Come on, I'm not fucking stupid. And, he's done this so many times before. And I know you guys are probably like, so what if he writes songs with other women? But the thing is, though, is this is how he communicates. He communicates through music. So if he is writing a song about another chick, that is how he feels. That to me is the same thing as if I, walked in the bedroom and he's in bed with some other chick. It is the same thing. It is some sort of weird, it is like cheating. I can't say it's cheating because in his mind we're not together. In my mind we're together, but that's how it feels, and I can't help how I feel. I got the feels about it. And, it's wrong, So, yeah, man, it just sucks. It really sucks. But he is just missing out. But I guess he doesn't see it because, he doesn't fight for it. He pushes me away. He doesn't pull me towards him. And after I watched that, his sober video, I almost was going to say, oh, that's great, But then I saw that other video, obviously, probably to shit Mantha. And, so I didn't say anything. So I have not spoken with him since 2 Sundays ago. A week ago Sunday, and today's Wednesday, so a week and a half ago. I haven't spoken to him. And, I'm just, it's ridiculous. But my point of this video was that he gets his supply from anyone on earth giving him even one moment, a little snippet of attention. And he's hit up, and it's dudes too. It's dudes, and like I said, we're older now. We're not 20, and so these people, these are like dudes that are grandpas by now, and he's just hitting them all up. He's just trying to get his list, his army of followers, and it's the weirdest thing. And I'm telling you, his weird social media thing and his weird phone thing. And I mean, I know that the times we're living in right now, kind of everybody's like that. I'm recording a video right now that I'm going to put it out on social media, or whatever, out into the ether. But I have a purpose for it. But he lives through his phone because it's fake. And everything he does is fake. And when that guy and his little daughter, whatever, walked past us, and he was like, at them, it's fake. It's so icky. Ugh, I don't like it. Ooh, I don't like it. Yeah, it's just weird. Okay. I gotta get away from him. I really do. I don't want to. But the man that I am in love with is my own version of him in my own head that is fake. Talk about fake. Yeah, I'm in love with a fake. I'm not just in love with a fake guy because he's very fake, but I'm in love with a fake version of him that doesn't exist. I've concocted this all in my mind, and I have to come to terms with that. But you will be proud of me. I have been going out, and not to say that I should be frequenting bars, but I'm just kind of getting my feet wet. And I've been talking to people and meeting people, and I don't really want to do the online dating thing. I don't know about that, but I'm gonna find the right guy. I am, because I have so much love and real reality within me, and I want a real relationship with a real person who has real thoughts and a real heart and a real soul and real direction, and isn't living in the past. That's another thing about Brian. That's another thing about him hitting all these people up from the past. He is living 20 years ago. He is literally in a time capsule, living in some alternate reality from the past. And maybe that's another reason, like 8,000 reasons why he just can't get things together with me. Even though I am technically from his past, technically. But still, we didn't really have that long or strong of a connection back then. And, I'm kind of a new person, and he doesn't like new. He doesn't like new music. He doesn't like new food. There's foods that he's never even tried. I mean, he just won't get out of the past. But I can't, I can't extract him from the web that he's entangled in. I just can't. And, I'm sorry that things didn't work out with his ex-girlfriend, wife, whatever you want to call it. I'm sorry. But move on, dude. You've got a great girl right now. A great girl who loves you. It's not like I'm just like, what's up? Like, I am in love with him and he knows it. And he could have the best relationship ever with me, But he doesn't want to. He just doesn't. He is trapped in the past. And there's no getting him out. So I have to get out of the past, even though it's only been 4 years, but I am living in the past of 4 years of back when he has love bombed me a few times. I'm living in that, it doesn't exist, the past that he's trying to live in doesn't exist, and the past of the good times that I had with him, although there weren't many, to be honest with you. There really were not that many great times between us, honestly. It's not like I'm mourning the death of this wonderful relationship with this man. That's not true. It's mostly been horrible, really. I mean, I could literally count on 2 hands, maybe one, the good times. And, I need to take my own advice. I need to get away from him. He needs to get away from his past and away from drugs and away from everything that keeps him stuck. And I do too. If you're with a narcissist, at this point, we just got to get away from him. There's just no solving it. It is a mind-boggling, mind-fuckery web of catastrophe that no one can fix. And the more I study every single person, whether they're a layman or a, psychiatrist who's been practicing for 35 years, they all say that NPD, narcissistic personality disorder, cannot be cured. Drug addiction can be cured quicker and better and longer than this. At this point, who knows what's going to happen in the future, but at this point right now, it is a condition that cannot be cured. And all we can do is separate ourselves from it and go and live a life alone or with someone else who just isn't like this, because this is hell. I shouldn't even have this channel. I shouldn't even be sitting here on a Wednesday night talking to you guys about my heartbreak. I should be in the kitchen cooking dinner for a wonderful man who appreciates it, who isn't a fucking weirdo, and who I don't have constant problems with. And then we sit down together and have a nice meal and we talk about normal shit and we have a loving exchange of energy that doesn't have demons in it, doesn't have drugs in it, doesn't, bring up shit from the past. I don't have to sit and listen to him talk about some other chick. I mean, that's, come on. That is what I should be doing right now. But I do enjoy making these videos for you. I hope they help you in some way. Okay, bye.